the Standard Pauper Show. It's a show about Standard Pauper.
Hello, everybody. It's that time of the week again for some Standard Pauper action. With me, Brennan, your lovable host, and Sam, Vault Boy Hunter. He's here today. Say hello, Sam.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
We got a special guest, Dan, the fan of history. But first, let's get on with some stuff. Whoa, that looks crazy on the screen. I don't even know why that's doing that. But anyway, for some reason it's chosen red as a ketone color, and it's invisible. Weird. Anyway,
I am in bed.
let's say what happened this week in Standard Pauper. The SPDC, that was yesterday as of recording this on Sunday. 9 players competed, 3-round Swiss top 4 playoff. First place was a Orzhov Auras deck, beat Nick Bobby. A Boros Heroic by Lukic. How would you pronounce that? Lu 3K?
Luck 3K.
Alright, I'll go with that.
Yep.
Red Deck Wins by Carnews. And Remove You by friend of the show, R. Remedio. We refer to him as Robert.
Mr. Robert.
So, let's look at Mr. Robert's deck. I hope you can see this on the screen. It was a lot of cards. You'll notice there's a whole lot of one-ofs and just chock full of answer goodness.
It is an amazing deck. I actually got to watch him play the round before the top 4. I sat and watched some of the game, and it is bananas. It's an awesome little deck. So
it's pretty cool. Although my only concern with this deck, there's only I think 5 cards not rotating. So sad.
No, it's dead, but he's playing it as an answer to basically anything that's still strong in the format. So that's why he's playing it, and you got to live for today. That's all there is to it. Yep.
Oh, I agree. No, it's an awesome deck. It uses the Guild Gates. It's got the Sunspire, Flurry of Horns, 2 of my favorite cards. Flurry of Horns is staying around, which I'm glad about. I think that's underused, and especially with all this pump stuff that came out with Khans, should be pretty exciting. You got the lands. That is a wide array of lands right there, my friend.
1,000,000 Guild Gates.
Yep. Which reminds me, when we talk about Khans, I know you have some questions for me. I played in the pre-release, and we will definitely talk about Guild Gates / refuges. So sideboard, it's got some answers. Keening, Razor Tip, Electrickery, the standard. I will be sad when Electrickery goes away, but I know why it's going away. With so many tokens, well, a good number of tokens.
It needs to go away.
Yeah, otherwise that strategy, everybody will run it, and token strategies will be poo-poo. All right, let's take a look at the opening hand. We got a Plains, Radiant Fountain, Evolving Wilds, Boros Guildgate, Uncovered Clues. That's the look at the top 4 of your library. Reveal 2 instant or sorcery cards and put them in your hand, the rest on the bottom. Divination, draw 2. And Pillar of Light, which is a mighty card. Exile target creature with toughness 4 or greater. With all the +1/+1 counters going around, that 4 or greater happens a lot.
Right. And he had told me that he was running Read the Bones with Radiant Fountain as a way to lessen the pain of Read the Bones.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you're running colorless lands in there too? Are you a crazy man? And he's like, well, I might make a change there. But no, that's a pretty decent opening hand in a controlling deck. So
right. I would probably keep it. It seems, it's really threat light. But it's got Pillar of Light, and you got 2 different ways of grabbing some cards.
I mean, you're drawing 4 cards there, and that's pretty good.
That is.
So I mean, your next slide's going to show us what we're going to be drawing into.
So let's find out. Celestial Flare, always handy. I don't think enough people run this in Classic Pauper.
No,
Yeah,
it's been showing up in Boris Kitty sideboards.
as it should, because if you have enough white mana, seriously, I think this is something. I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but in Slivers, every time I watch somebody play Slivers or play against Slivers, especially against, when they're attacking into 2 white open mana all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
You can throw this in and you will get them.
Not only that, but it's a great answer for hexproof in any format.
Yes,
So
yes.
because they attack with so few creatures, I mean,
Yep.
get your flare on.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I don't know if anybody noticed this, but what's that creature on the right-hand side of Celestial Flare?
It's a person? I can't tell.
Oh, it's an orc.
Is it?
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
And in the background, you see banners. You see background. It looks like Abzan. I would not doubt if this was an Abzan art put on an M14 card.
Which, I mean, is very likely because they commissioned so much art.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
If I ever get a chance to talk to Clint Kierley, excuse me, I will have to ask him because I just noticed that today and I had to say it.
That's awesome.
Yes. Okay. Flurry of Horns is next, so you're sitting pretty good, but you don't have enough mana to cast Flurry of Horns. You only had 4. So you're going to need to have drawn into something. Sunspire, you're good to go with the Sunspire. So you're going to get 2 things out there. You're going to get 4 power, 6 toughness on the board. Divination, another one. You're good to go there too. Lightning Strike and Shock. So we opened with a controlling hand, and the next 6 cards are very controlly.
Yeah, the Gatekeepers being basically your only real threat there, but I mean, you're drawing a whole bunch of extra cards. You've got a pretty decent amount of removal. I think he can cast all of it too from the opening hand. So, like, yeah, no, this is what the deck wants to do, from what I can tell, and it was really reliable. It worked very, very well when I watched him play. So,
yeah,
it was awesome. So.
Cool. All right. Now, I know this is a little off from Standard Pauper, but I want to talk about the Khans of Tarkir pre-release because the pre-release showed me the power of a lot of cards. Went to the local gaming store with my daughter. I ended up 3-1, and she ended up 2-2, which I think is pretty respectable. And we had a good time. It was great. Took 5 hours. I was really worried about the mana because playing 3-color deck, Sam knows I hate playing 3 colors.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it and we'll talk about it in a little bit. And then I know sealed is a little different. Since the seeded packs weren't as crazy seeded as the ones from M15, I think it is closer representation to what you'll see if you play if you play sealed later on. So I'm gonna show my deck. Yay, and no one can see it because my camera couldn't focus. So anyway, but I do still have the deck in my hands right now. Let's kind of talk about it. And Sam, please feel free to stop me at any point.
So you went red, white, and blue?
I sure did. Jeskai.
Jeskai, or I can't remember the old name for it anymore because everybody's brainwashed me.
Yep. I knew we'd do it.
Ugh.
One of us.
I felt bad.
So, yeah. But, Jeskai, I wore my Captain America t-shirt. Red, white, and blue. See? Playing All-American, y'all. My daughter played Mardu, which is crazy, by the way, in the pre-release. Mardu, I'm figuring that's what everyone's going to play on online in 2 weeks.
Yeah, to grind quick matches.
You're either going to win fast or lose fast is what's going to happen there.
So my question, okay, just to start out,
Sure.
were the common lands enough to make the 3-color deck viable?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Because you couple that with the uncommon. And remember, 3 of the uncommon are going to have at least 2 of the colors that you want.
Yeah. So getting the whatever, the tri-lands, I mean, you're still going to run them even if you only get 2 colors from them.
Yes.
Because that's the best you're going to get anyway.
Yeah. And I did that. I ran the Monastery, which had all 3 of my colors, and I got that in my seeded pack, as well as the Blue-Red Refuge came in the seeded pack. But out of my 5 packs that I opened, I got 2 of the Boros lands, 1 of the white-blue lands, and a tri-land of Mardu, which had white, red, white, black. So it had red and white, so I kept it.
Wow. That is crazy good, though.
It's ridiculous. I looked at my packs. Out of my packs and my daughter's packs, and I guess this does include the ones we won, I have a complete set of the banners. Oh, which I also had 1 banner, Jeskai banner. I have a complete set of the banners, 8 of the dual lands, the refuges, and all of the uncommon lands. Out of my packs, I have them all.
You have a full set, or you have 1 of each?
Oh, I have 1 of each. So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, 1 of each.
Wow, that is actually really a good amount of fixing. Now, just to go, hey, this isn't Standard Pauper, but a lot of what works with Limited translates really good to Standard Pauper.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of overlap, and knowing that the lands are enough to fix and make the 3-color deck viable is actually really exciting. Because I love 3-color decks. I'm not like Brennon. I want to play 3 colors and 4 colors and 5 colors and lose, but no, I mean, I can't really make out a lot of what you have. I see the little the white weenie guy that gives everything with the +1/+1 counter for strike.
Right. I'll talk about the commons that were in the deck.
Okay.
I'll start off with Mystic of the Hidden Way. It's 4 and a blue. Morph. Here's a morph card. You can morph him for 2 and a blue, which is quite reasonable. Mystic of the Hidden Way can't be blocked. Very good. I would almost always recommend morphing him because of the cost, because you pay 3 and the next turn you can flip him for 3. But if you have the 5 mana, he's not bad. 3/2 unblockable. Killed me one time. In one game, I couldn't do anything about it. I never drew any of my Arc Lightning or direct removal, and he just ate me away. I had to sit there and take it. It got down to I had 6 and my opponent had 8, and in one round I was able to do 7 with my what's that thing called? It's the red fireball, and I don't see it anywhere. But anyway, you can see it up in this top corner here. Claws of the Crater, I believe is what it's called. It's red X. Do X damage to target creature or player. Ferocious, if you have power 4 or greater, it's X +2. So.
Oh, okay.
So it was great. I rarely had Ferocious.
Not that color combination, I don't think.
No. The ones I had Ferocious on is when I had my what's it called? The Dragon Style Twins, because they have prowess and they're 3/3s. So I cast one thing, and that card right there, which is exactly what I did, and it made them a 4/4, so it triggered the Ferocious.
Wow, that feels good.
Oh, it felt great. So anyway, Mystic of the Hidden Way. It is an expensive card, but that little caveat of unblockable is real good. And if you are stuck at 3 mana, if you have 1 blue, you're gonna be able to unmorph them. And remember, they can attack as when they unmorph. It's not like they have summoning sickness again.
Right. No, you can unmorph in the middle of the attack.
Right.
Not that I saw a lot that makes you want to do that, but you can. You can.
Right. There's so many combat tricks in this set that the next card I'll talk about is Weave Fate. It's 3 and a blue. Draw 2 cards. Since it's an instant, if you're holding up mana for whatever trick or whatever morph or whatever you're doing, at the end of the turn you can just cast this to grab 2 cards. It works great in limited when you're dealing with morph because you're constantly leaving mana up to do something. So it's just one of those things. Let's see. Okay, the next one is Jeskai Student. It is 1 and a white for a 1/3 with prowess. He was not what I would call an all-star, but he blocked morphs all day, and I think in Standard Pauper he will be a little more viable because you can build around prowess. I found that having 40 cards, it was really, really hard. You wanted prowess to be incidental to the card that you were playing.
Yeah, you can't really... You have to run so many creatures in limited that it might be hard to really make it work.
Right.
But in constructed, like, you don't have to get to that count.
Right.
Or you can run 16 or 20 and still have an additional whatever to really get there. So yeah, no. But at the same time though, yeah, blocking morphs for 2 mana, I mean, is pretty good.
Oh yeah, especially if you were on the draw. And that was really key because it was basically land go, land go, land go, land go, play.
Excellent.
So that you were always doing something on turn 3. And if you had to wait around till turn 4 or 5, you were probably screwed. So, note to self. The next one is Force Away, which is 1 and a blue. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Ferocious. If you control a creature of power 4 or greater, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So, it's basically a kind of like a loot attached to a Vapor Snag.
Or it's
an unsummon.
Kind of close to the Journey's End, Voyage's End from Theros block.
Well, with the Scry?
That's sorcery.
Oh yeah, this is instant. I had 2 of them. And I was thankful every time I had them in my hand.
Oh, that's excellent.
Single time. It was awesome.
Tempo is so good.
Heck yeah. And while I was running 2 of those, I also ran 2 of the Kill Shot. It's 2 and a white. Destroy target attacking creature. I waited for them to attack every single time. And I would cast this and be ready to go. Kill them. It was awesome. Jeskai Wind Scout, he's 2 and a blue, flying with prowess. He's a 2/1. It was pretty good. It wasn't like the greatest card in the world, but not too shabby, I must say. The next card, Einok Bondkin, 2/1 for 2 mana, Outlast, and he also gives First Strike. That is going to be key. This is going to be a key player, I think, just due to the prowess and also everything else. Not prowess, excuse me. Outlast and everything in Theros getting +1 counters.
Yeah, no, I mean, imagine your Wingsteed riders just having First Strike now.
Oh,
just by being themselves.
It was great.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
The last one I want to talk about is Mardu Horde Chief, Raid. Raid ended up being way easier to key off of than I had originally thought. I thought it'd be the hardest. It was phenomenally easy, especially with Valley Dasher, which I don't think is a great card. 2/2 with haste. Must attack each turn, but it's also a great way to hide combat tricks because you're always attacking. They're like, oh, he has to attack. Haha, I have a combat trick, which is kind of cool. I heard that on Loading Ready Run. They found out the exact same thing, so it must be a deal. But anyway, with the Mardu Horde Chief, when you cast him after attacking, you get to put a 1/1 white warrior token on the battlefield. For 2 and a white, you get 3 power and 4 toughness on the field, and that is great.
Yeah, we talked about him last week. He's a tight little package. I like that dude quite a bit.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm getting a note from Dan. It looks like Dan wants to join in. Want me to?
Yeah. Let's do that thing.
Let's do it. Let's call Dan. Add to group call. We're using Skype. Dan, are you here?
Hi guys.
Dan!
Hi there.
Hey, Dan. What is up, my man?
I just played Thunder Threes.
Thunder Freeze? What does that deck?
Thunder Trees.
Thunder Trees. Sam's deck.
Excellent. I'm so happy it won. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Oh, this isn't going up till they've probably seen
know.
it.
I know. But still, I was watching, Dan. I was like, oh, God, this is going to lose so bad to Madness.
But yeah, so Dan, Mr. Pauper Gauntlet 2014, as elected by the free voting public.
Okay.
How have you? How has the gauntlet gone so far this past week?
It's been interesting. It wasn't like when I started with the 23 pre-enter decks. They went 20 wins, 3 losses.
Right.
But now I started losing.
Oh.
And winning, but I think I'm pretty even with the sort of the rest of the decks. So do you want the scores or?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Let's hear
Okay,
them.
so Allies lost to Slivers. Banned Presence lost to Mono Blue Control.
All right.
Bugs and Pigs lost to Mono Black Control.
That name, man. That name gets me every time.
So good.
Bugs and Pigs is a fantastic name. Cogs, your deck, Brennan.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah, what did you think of the match?
I liked it. I was like, oh, there were times I was yelling, but you did good. I thought my favorite part about that deck is when they're so concentrating on things that are directly affecting their guys, they just forget about the looters. And then when you just keep recurring the unsummon capsule, like, oh my gosh, I love that. That when that starts happening, I mean that deck to me, when you get that engine going, it's awesome. It's like unbeatable at that point. So that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah, and it won against Mono Green Death Touch. So
yeah, I didn't write you a sideboard for Mono Green Death Touch.
Yeah, what's up with that? You have to cover every deck in the sideboard.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive
Kroka
me.
Yand lost horribly to Mono Black Control.
Mm-hmm.
Death Touch lost to Delver Fiend.
Wow.
Demir Cyphertrix beat Blue-White Merfolk.
Yeah, I saw that Merfolk deck. Has that been a thing before in Pauper?
I don't think so. They looked very small and insignificant, the Merfolk.
Yeah,
I think they need their lords.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't think that one guy, the Schoolmaster, the white one that untap and get him, unless you can do something crazy with Freed from the Real. Is that the one that blue untap?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Love Train uses.
Yeah. Maybe if you could hook him up with that, I don't know. It seems very clunky to get going. But
Yeah, but it was a good practice run for the Cypher deck.
Oh yeah.
Dumb Green Tron lost to Teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah, that was painful to watch.
That's a painful matchup for anyone, I think.
Yeah. Teachings has come out of blue, and it's due to Obzan, and like it wasn't even really that big of a thing when even a week before the gauntlet started, when everybody was making their sideboard plans, but like it's creeping up on on MTG Goldfish, and he keeps 4-0 and 3-1 with it. So like it's going to be a relevant deck as people kind of catch on to it. So
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Like many Pauper decks, teachings never dies. It just goes away for a short period.
Right.
And then it flashes back. Ha ha ha.
Gruel Kitty had a very interesting loss, perhaps the most interesting in the whole gauntlet, losing to Tireless Tribe combo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Which
that
was-
was awesome.
I did not think that was going to work. I
No, I tried to play that, but
Yeah.
I didn't get it to work.
that,
Honestly, I had to pause the match and go look up what the combo was because I had never seen it before.
There's another one that the gosh, what are they? It's the creatures that it 0 to prevent the next damage from X creature. So basically, just force it to happen. But then there's another card that's a similar creature type, and it's when it's ever targeted by a creature, it gets like +0/+1, and so you keep doing that over and over and over again. There's another combo. Gosh, I wish I could remember. But that was the first deck I ever put together when I found out what Pauper was on MTGO.
Pauper is surprisingly deep.
Yeah,
It is.
crazy.
Then I went up against Mono Blue Control again, but I felt pretty good about it because I was playing Infect. But he got me.
Right.
So Infect lost to Mono Blue Control. Pesky Clerics lost to Affinity.
Yep, I watched that one.
Yeah, losing to Affinity is... that happens. Fling, good card.
Oh, no kidding.
Persistently Undying beat the troll deck. Everybody thought it was a deck designed to troll people in the Just for Fun room with Simic Land Destruction.
Oh, yeah.
With capsized card draw and land destruction.
The thing about it is like that deck needed more punch to actually be effective, and it just lacked like a good finisher.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it's like, okay, you set me back a turn. Well, you didn't do anything to me. So let's play it again. Draw the next card.
I ran it over with Undying Dirtles, so it must have been pretty slow.
Oh, yeah. One of the slowest. All right. Whoa.
And now I find an error in my list. I played against the Simic Infect deck,
Yeah.
but it says here that I played Pox, and I haven't played Pox yet.
Uh-oh.
So what did I play?
What did you
I
play
have to find this out in real time.
against the Simic? Here, you're going to YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me if you find it. I'll adjust my screen size.
Okay.
There. Okay, I'm looking for it. Because I remember playing against Simic Infect.
Yeah. Oh, I see trees uploading.
But what did I play?
Simic land destruction. Oh, is it on SNG? I bet it's on SNG.
Probably.
Yeah.
I played White Hot Hottie.
White Hot Hottie.
But
Okay.
that's noted. Yeah, I think this is just... Okay,
Yep.
forget about... I played White Hot Hottie.
Okay.
Okay.
Project X really went off.
Oh yeah, that
Killed
was
the green-white beats deck.
that was exciting to watch.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. I think I was very lucky to get the combo that consistently.
Right.
It felt like a super powerful deck. Oh, okay, I go off on turn 4.
Oh yeah, I watched that one today. As a matter of fact, it's like if you hit the mana just right, yeah, you win on turn 4.
Sam, do you care to explain the Project X combo?
Well, I mean, it's not my combo, but I wanted it in because it's an awesome deck. It's the Carrion Feeder. You sacrifice the one little cheap elf with Persist. He comes
Safe
back
hold elite.
in.
Yeah, safe hold.
Right,
elite.
the safe hold elite, and you have the Emulating Denizen in play, and then so you just target the safe hold elite with the +1/+1 counter, which in Magic now removes the -1/-1 counter. It becomes a G2 again. You can sacrifice it infinitely. And then eventually you hope to draw your Elvish Herder the one of in the deck, and
I
then
even
you
did
can
that.
give
Yes, he
trample.
did. It was great.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he got it. So because the guy boarded in the protection from black creature,
Right.
knowing that was his only hope. So
But
no, I
even
was very pleased at that. It went off so nice. So
We had the heralds as well, so we could get the herder.
yep, Wirewood Herald is awesome.
yeah, the
E-
herald is great.
You know what's great with protection from color and trample is since that creature takes no damage, all trample damage goes straight to the user. Isn't that awesome? Yeah,
That's so cool.
it doesn't absorb any of it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, I got screwed out of that. Because basically you have to assign enough to kill it, and you can't assign any to it. So
Oh.
it just tramples over. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, Red Green Madness had a quitter, so it moved on.
Shame.
Rise of the Legionnaire, the White Weenie deck, had a great match with Tortured Existence.
That was a great match too.
It was a nail biter.
I was on the edge of my seat all the way to the end, so that was like one of the better matches of the last few at the very, very least.
For sure.
Yeah.
Rot Wolf Control also went up against Tortured Existence, but Fume Spitters are bad for Infect. So Golgari Tortured Existence won that match with 2-1.
And that's something to point out. The Rise of the Legionnaires played against the red-black tortured build, and I think the Golgari build is actually stronger.
Oh yeah.
I think it looks that way, yeah.
Yeah, the how did they decide Tortured Existence was going to be a common? It seems crazy. They would never do that now.
Has
It
it ever been a
seems-
thing in another format?
I don't
It
know.
seems so bad back then. Like when it first came out, nobody wanted to play it, and it was like last pickable, and like so I can remember it just being like picked as being one of the worst cards in that set, and
Really?
now it's
Gosh,
just
it's crazy.
yeah, it's such a
I don't even
powerhouse
remember
in
the
this
card
format.
from the time.
Yeah, see, so
That's
but no,
insane.
it's so strong in Pauper. So
Yeah, there must not have been. I guess there was just nothing to enable. You know, there's no madness when it was
It's
around.
very reliant on madness.
Yeah, and dredge. So I guess without madness and dredge, then it's
Yeah,
it's just
not
one
good.
for one in yourself. Yeah.
true. But
I
my
just played
goodness.
Shock the Kitty. Is it Kitty build against Burn?
How'd it do?
I thought I was in a lot of trouble because I didn't have any life gain and
Yeah.
didn't have any counter spells pre-board. But he killed my creatures way too much. So I distracted him with Trinket Mages until he was dead.
Nice.
Excellent.
Man, people get really distracted by stuff.
Yes.
It seems to be easy to make people perceive things as a threat that are not actually threats.
And I think that's poetic if the Trinket Mage sort of distracts people with shiny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The when I was at the pre-release, this one kid I was playing against, and that's the one thing that kills me. I can't turn off being a dad when I play against kids. It's just I'm incapable of doing it because he kept making mistake after mistake. I'd be like, no, stop. No, that's not how this works. And the kid was Polish, like here from Poland. You know, his English wasn't perfect, and I was like, okay, wait, you let's go through this again. Tell me what you're trying to do, and then we'll walk backwards through it. I was like, he beat me, but I couldn't let him just throw everything away. And he was so happy. You know that turtle, that 5'9" mythic turtle?
Yes.
Yeah, that is what he beat me with the last game. He wanted to cast it so bad, but it had I drawn one burn spell, just one burn spell in 2 rounds, he would have been dead. But he cast it, okay? So I had the next turn to draw a burn spell, didn't get it. The next turn he attacked with it, and remember it exiles, and explaining exile coming back on the next turn afterwards to a non-native English speaker was not easy.
Oh my god.
So he was like, oh, so it's Island Walk. You take 5? No, it exiles. What? That's not fair. I was like, that's the card. So the next round I had one more chance to do a burn spell. I didn't. I just attacked with everything. I got him down to 1 exactly like I knew I would. And then it came back around. He attacked with that giant island walking 5/9 monstrosity and was so happy that he won. I mean, he beat me, but oh gosh, that was. But like I said, I can't turn off being a dad when I'm in these situations. It's like it hurts me more to watch them just throw stuff away than it does to me losing a game. So I was like, oh, I can't do it.
I guess that just means you're a nice person.
Maybe so.
I would just have killed him.
Oh, Dan, always wanting to conquer. It's in your
Taste
blood.
these sweet tears.
Yeah.
You would bottle them for later.
Then I played Winter Zoo and messed up royally against Tron.
Just that second game.
Yes, and it cost me the match.
The third game, Tron does what Tron does, and that powers out big stuff. The thing about the deck, the Tron deck, from what I could tell, it was red-green.
He had something blue, but he was very light on the blue stuff.
I mean, we play Tron a lot, and you cast every Maul Drifter you can, and he didn't cast any in the 3 games. So I mean, it was really strange, an odd build. Looks like he was playing 4 of the filter lands, which I normally don't. So but not the best sideboard, but I think Zoo should make it past the next matchup. So
yeah, I hope we don't run into. I would feel bad if I was eliminated after those mistakes. I think those were the worst mistakes in the gauntlet so far. Blue-black creatureless control played against Suicide Black, and I think this blue-black creatureless control deck is quite interesting actually. So it was a blast to play. It's the most defensive Pauper deck I ever seen.
it is very defensive.
It will win with Evan Carr's Justice, and that's it.
That's crazy.
Yes. So you have to play quickly.
Yeah. Oh, I was telling Sam earlier when I was doing the pre-release, the cards I played the most ended up being like every match I would play Force Away, which is the return target creature to owner's hand, and then if you have Ferocious, you can loot. Yep. And Kill Shot, which is the white 3-mana destroy target attacking creature. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that whole stopping their attack when they think they have an attack, and just forcing them to recast, especially 3-color creatures over and over and over again. It felt good. So yeah.
What else? Slivers ran over Night Sky aggro.
Easily.
I'll say people still play Night Sky aggro, huh?
Yeah, it always comes back.
It
never works.
It didn't seem like a very good match. The Slivers, I don't think. Were you ever in any fear at all that you were going to lose that?
When he got the 7/7 lifelinker on turn 2, I felt pretty bad.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yes. Squawks to Plowshares, the mono-white control deck, ran into an Azorius middle deck that was pretty sweet as well. Normally the middle decks, the Turbo Fogs decks, are Simic, but it looked much stronger as an Azorius build.
Yeah, I tried to convince Peyton to do that. He was wanting to make basically an all-green Turbo Fog deck. Yeah. And I was like, man, there's a lot of nice fog effects in white, and then you have some counter stuff with blue. I sent him links to stuff. I could not convince him, But yeah, I think that Azorius build, Dawn Charm, might be the most underrated card of all time.
And it was, of course, horrible for a mono-white control deck to run into mill.
Yeah, no, that was to me probably the most interesting deck that you played against, because I hadn't seen that before. It didn't look like he had any targeted or removal. It was all mill, card draw, and fog effects.
I have a Simic build in the Gauntlet. I haven't played it yet. So Simic Turbo Fog. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to go too. Because you have a lot of removal and stuff, so good.
And the last match then, Sam, I want you to explain what I just did, because I played Thunder Trees against Blue Green Madness. And the deck was incredibly interesting. There was a lot of interactions.
I watched all 3 games live on the client, waiting for Brennon to come on.
Oh, I didn't notice.
No, you wouldn't, because you probably didn't have the chat up, or you had it off to the side. But like, I was sitting there that first game, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna go well," because Blue Green Madness is a real deck. But like the second game, I don't know what you sideboarded in. I think maybe the Sandstorms.
Yes, I brought in the Sandstorms and the Terminates, and for the third game I noticed, 4 Pyroblasts. Maybe I can use those.
And like, but the Treefolk Fingraph interaction is amazing. That is really good. I thought, I really liked what I saw. I don't know how it's going to stand up against, like, a mono black control or something like that, but definitely a lot of land interaction. So definitely, I think it got its point across. But
I think Crows on Tusker Grim Harvest was pretty sweet. I Tuskered all the lands I had in the deck in the final duel.
I mean, there's something to be said about Grim Harvest being one of the just the strongest cards in the format. For a card that I completely miss, like playing whatever it was called, Cold Snap. But it is so strong, and then when you pair it with like the comes into play effects, it just gets even stronger. So like, that's very grindy, very, very cool. Was fun to watch. I'll enjoy watching the video, hearing you go, "Oh, Sam, what type of deck is this? This is crazy." So
at first I was whining about your card choices, then I was discovering things.
Yeah, that's what the deck is about. It's about self-discovery and trees.
It's like go to the forest and have an epiphany.
Exactly. You need to be naked.
But I think the Grim Harvest will be hard to... Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just talking about you being naked. Go on.
I think the Grim Harvest would be hard to use against a deck that wasn't forced to attack on the ground, like Blue-Green Madness was. But he was so stuck between a rock and a hard place, because he had to attack, and then I would get Grim Harvest back. But we don't have a sacrifice outlet for creatures.
No.
So in Trinket, for example, you have the Fume Spitters and Augurs, so it's much easier to recur Grim Harvest.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, you still have the Haunted Fingraphs for if you need them. But like, I still don't think Madness is that great of a deck, even though they dropped those cards down. It was so strong for the time that it existed, but it's so weak compared to the push creatures, the much better removal now. So yeah, it just feels like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to ever become a real contender in Pauper.
I think some of the cards are still missing that made that deck so strong in Standard. You don't have quite Speculations, you don't have Roar the Worms, etc.
Yeah, you don't have the top end type of stuff.
Yeah, Quiet Speculation for 2 Roars and a Deep Analysis was pretty good.
And I mean, the thing about it is you would think that just having the Arrogant Worm, the 4/4 trample that you can play with haste, pseudo haste, would be enough to put you over the top. But it's just a 4/4 trample creature, and it's really not that impressive anymore. Um, and that's the problem with the deck overall. Is like that's its like end game play, and it just doesn't get there enough. So. But I mean, I had fun watching it. So I'm glad Shock the Kitty won. One of the league members, somewhat dyslexic, submitted that, and I watched him play a couple games with it, and it looked like a lot of fun when he was playing it. I'm glad that did good. And I
It
was
felt
like,
very much like a kitty deck.
it looks like a kitty deck, even though he wanted to claim his name on it. And then I was like, oh, Dan, during the Squawks the Plowshares, I was like, come on, double cleave while he's tapped out, Dan, in the second game, and you didn't. But it was.
Was it lethal?
No, it was too short. No matter
Yeah.
what, you were going to end up too short. And.
Yes.
He got online, and I want to apologize personally for Rotwolf Control because I submitted that. I thought it was more aggro than it is.
Yeah,
It is a
it's a
little more
control deck.
control-y.
Yes.
And so I might go in and take a look at the sideboard plan on that one.
Great.
Because I think it might need a tweak from what I originally had thought about the deck. Watching you play it in practice, it's a lot more control-y than most or any other Infect deck I've ever seen.
Yes. That's why we
So-
use Seal of Strength, for example. That's pretty bad in an effect deck, but
Yeah.
it's used to protect the Rotwolves.
Right. Instead of being
So
pumped,
the idea
it's
is to
just
go off with
protection.
Rotwolf.
Yeah.
And the thing is
So-
that it has
Go ahead.
has a great matchup against Delver and Stompy. That's sort of its existence, and against any White Weenie or creature-based aggro deck.
But against Tortured Existence, getting stuff back over and over again, it just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go through the decks I have left? I think this round will bleed into next week. I was going to finish this week, but there are quite a lot of decks left.
Right. You can kind of, if you want to give like a preview, you don't have to hit every single thing. Maybe if there's something specific that you're looking forward to.
Okay. I fear a lot to play One Land Spy. Everybody has so high expectation, and I'm just so confused by that deck.
Did you get the email I sent you?
Yes.
Okay. If you look through those, that should help because David Schaefer goes through it with that interview with Just Sin. Really good.
Okay.
Really,
Great.
really good. So that should help out a whole bunch. I watched Sammy Deluxe, who submitted the Krokra Jund deck,
Yes.
and play it in the tournament practice room, and he won like 4 matches in a row with it. And the deck is crazy to watch, but until I get to play it, I couldn't explain it to anybody. Because he was going like Lotus Blossom, discard the Simian Spirit Guide, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, drop the thing, and I was like, this is how this deck wins, and he would just win consistently on like turn 2 or turn 3. So it's insane. It's probably
And you
the
win
craziest
by
pop
doing
build I've
damage,
ever
right?
seen. Huh?
You win by doing damage.
You win by the card that you remove cards from your graveyard and do direct damage with. I can't remember the name of it.
So you have to put 20 cards in your graveyard using that stupid Gate Crash guy.
You have to put 20 creature cards in your graveyard, and that's why you have to be really careful about how many like spirit guides you discard and stuff.
Wow.
But when you read that article where Justin interviews David Schaefer, and breaks the deck down really, really well in that one. The other two are more of like tournament reports.
And actually, nothing else looks hard to play compared to that deck.
Nothing in Pauper looks that hard to play compared to that deck.
So it should all be easy compared to that. I have a bit watch rights I haven't played, so I think I might be able to screw that up.
Watch rates is fun.
So that's
It's
a
the
crowd
one
favorite as well.
it's the one that generates a lot of tokens, right? Because there's a couple different builds of it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that one's pretty. Like once you play it, the first game, you should get the gist of it really easy. It's really fun. I'm afraid of Glass Cannon Red or Red Glass Cannon, because that deck I couldn't even really write a sideboard for it, because either you win in like 2 turns or you may. I don't know. I don't think it has a long game. It's a 2-turn deck. It's really weird. So,
I love it.
I was so confused to sit down because I'm like, well, if your opponent gets a blocker out, do you just lose? And I think you
yes.
do. Yes. Oh, that was a tough one to write a sideboard plan for. So,
Wow.
but yeah, and that I think is that another David Schaefer build?
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah, he is a crazy man with his
He
brew.
finds the
so.
edge of knowledge.
Right.
Yeah. He goes, well, what cards aren't people playing and how can I break them? And he does successfully, and it's insane, so.
I think his question was, okay, Temporal Fissure decks can't do anything the first 2 turns. Can I kill them during those turns?
Right. Ugh. It's so crazy.
He had a Goblin build as well that was a lot faster than the other Goblin build that tried to accomplish that.
Really?
That he had several results with. It was like ultra aggressive goblins.
Oh,
More aggressive than goblins?
Wasn't he the
Yes.
one? Wasn't he the one that had Kieran Stryker in the goblins?
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. That was his.
Goblins is actually less aggressive than people think. I think one of the big strengths of goblins is that it can play control and aggro in very differently in different matchups.
It's happy to get to the mid range, unlike a lot of or aggro decks are. So
Here, hold on just a second.
okay,
Oh, you guys talk. I need to check on something.
okay,
All right.
yeah, no, that's part of the reason I think goblins hangs around, because I mean it's dinky creatures for the most part, but just having the sack guys that you can move +1/+1s around gives it so much resiliency that it hangs around more than you want it to, and they're just dirty little bastards. So, but yeah, no, like all in all, like this is the part of the gauntlet that I knew things were gonna get rocky.
Yes.
Because it's gotten to the rogue crowd submission part, and it's been as much fun so far as I was hopeful for. Like I really wanted Squawks to win over that mill deck, and
Yeah.
I was so sad that it didn't. Like it has so many of my favorite cards, like the armor. Like I tried to build a deck with Shadow and armor, but Shadow is just so bad now. But no, like, and you're doing a great job playing the decks, because it's a lot of gear shifting between
Yes.
aggro and then combo and then like mid range, and mid range is so taxing to build or to play over and over again correctly. Because those are the type of decks that have a lot of play paths, and so like, yeah, it's awesome. No, it's great. I haven't missed a match yet. I thought I missed you play Burn, but I watched it again, and I was like, no, I watched this. I'm up to date. Caught up.
I think
Awesome.
I have 30 decks left.
Wow.
when I look at the list here, I just want to play it. Oh, this is so much fun. There are so many fun decks left to play. I went off one of the bunches of deck lists you sent me, Brennan.
Yeah.
So I'm working through that one. That's the way I'm selecting the decks.
Cool.
But yeah, a lot of interesting decks remain.
Excellent.
And some of them are really good. And there you can still choose your deck on MTGO Library. Maybe you can include the link in the show notes.
Yes.
Because I think maybe 20 decks are claimed. And there are a few very strong decks that are not claimed yet.
And I'm going to go ahead and link it again in the league article on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because we have some people that went and picked, but not as many as I thought would. So I'm going to do it again because I want all the decks to get picked. I don't want any orphans.
I think there are some people are being clever and waiting to round 3 to pick.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that, but somebody picked Dumb Green Tron, and that's my best friend. I have decided that I'm gonna be his child's godparent or something for picking my really bad Green Tron deck.
Brennan, how
Yes.
late was Demir Mill picked in the Standard Pauper Gauntlet?
Demir Mill? It got picked pretty quickly.
I think
Yeah.
Dr. Baker picked
Dr.
that
Baker
the first
picked
day.
picked his own deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boris Kid
away.
was picked quite late, actually, in the first Pauper Gauntlet.
Yeah, but then some fool picked it right away this time.
That jerk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the kitty. I was happy
me
to see
too.
it as Azoria's kitty did so good. And 5-color green. Did that
Again?
one? That was insane. That was just straight up crazy. That deck is crazy.
I will never forget 5-color green due to the Christmas song I wrote about Magic last year. And instead of 5 golden rings, I kept having to sing 5-color green. So, yeah.
Excellent.
I don't know if that song can be topped.
It might have been the pinnacle of everything.
Right. I've gone completely downhill since that song.
Everything has gone downhill since that song.
That's it, folks. Good night.
I mean, I have noticed there has been less singing this time around. Dan,
I'm holding the Blastoderm song.
Okay,
Let's
and
hold
I
it
mean, allies, they haven't had any singing love.
No,
So-
they have to win to get the song. No, they don't. I will probably have to sing that.
I
And
mean,
the third song from the first Gauntlet is the Rebel thing, but I haven't played that yet.
did a rebel deck make it in?
Yes.
Okay, who submitted it?
Ought 3.
Okay. He had a good one up. I couldn't remember because I know at one point you were like Baba was going to put it up, but I don't think he ever got to it.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. So, lots of nice matches to come.
Yeah, it's just getting started, folks. And like we've mentioned before, a lot of the videos are going up on MagicGatheringStrat.com, where you're watching this fine program right here at the YouTube channel, Magic Gathering Strat on YouTube. Also, all the extra, because we don't want to overload our one site, because some people really dislike that. We have Dan has SNG prop on the YouTube as well. A lot of stuff going up over there. Very cool. Dan is great about commenting back to you when you make comments on his videos. So feel free to watch either one. Comment. I'm out there. Sam's out there. We're just trying to keep things rolling.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's kind of all I had for this week. Sam, did you have anything else?
No, I mean, just talking about the pre-release.
Right.
But I think besides maybe you doing a video of your deck, which would be awesome. See
That would
all
be
of the
nice.
tools. I mean, you went 3-1, so obviously you had some good shiz in there. So
Yeah, I'll try to. I have what I have left. I will try to find the rest of it, because I kind of threw it in a bag, brought it home.
excellent.
So anyway, yeah, I'll try to give that a shot. But I guess that brings us to the end. MagicGatheringStrat.com is the website with all of our articles. A lot of good information out there. YouTube, same thing. Magic Gathering Strat. Go out there to subscribe. And guess what, folks? It is official. You can get this lovely cast on iTunes. I searched for it today, and it's up there. Just ready to
Awesome.
be downloaded. That's right. So, announcement time. It's on. It's on the official iTunes. Yep, it's really cool. And we have Twitter at MagicGathStrat. Go out there. Facebook, we do a lot of stuff on Facebook too. /MagicGatheringStrat. So that's all I have for this week. I'm Brennan,
I'm Sam.
I'm Dan.
and this has been the Standard Pauper Show. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Audio.